Yeah, they did, didn't they? Vision Strikers. Let's go for that.
This next question is for Vanity from Gilgay at Esports Gazzetzi. You will be facing Fnatic again, though this time with your new team. How do you think the matches will differ compared to the ones you had while playing with version 1?
I don't know. I mean, it's a completely different group of players. They're the same team, but I'm playing with 4 new people. I think, obviously, we had a stand going in Iceland, and we were a little underprepared because the circumstances, like the practice circumstances, weren't the best because like the ping and then the PCs combined. But I don't know. I mean, we're excited to play. Hopefully, we can get some revenge.
Yeah, well, I can actually tell you how the game's going to go. This is your bum. That's me during the game and after. No. No, it's going to be a fun game, though. I look forward to playing you again.
This next question is for ShahZam from Brandon Moore at Run It Back. Without giving too much away, how has Raucus slotted into the coach role? What kind of work has he done, and how has your job changed?
Yeah, Raucus has been extremely helpful. Honestly, it's impressed me how much, I mean, more than I expected originally. But outside of just like stuff in game, some more set plays in game, more gimmicky things that we could do because we usually stick to the fundamentals. He's been pretty good at like recording practices for us, taking notes, and so when we watch back, we kind of break down the things and have more productive discussions, as well as holding people accountable. You know, it's one thing to like get complacent and go through the motions, but it's another to like kind of like change things up and head in with like a new mindset. So it's been a lot of help, and it eased off like the workload on my shoulders.
This next question is for Jamppi from Ariella at IGC. Before the start of the Champions, it was revealed that Navera tested positive for COVID-19. Now knowing this, were you and your teammates afraid of being out of Champions?
Of course, it was not like an ideal situation where we were, but yeah, I don't think we were ever afraid that we are not going to make the Champions. I think it was more just about if we can play with him, with Niver or not. I think otherwise we would have had to have a stand-in playing with us, but thank God Riot like handled this situation pretty well and they let us play with Niver, so it's all good at least for now, but yeah.
This next question is for Boaster from Esports Gazzetesi. Do you think it'll be you and Sentinels in the grand finals again? And if so, what would you do differently this time?
I honestly don't know who was going to be in the grand finals with us. I wouldn't mind Sentinels, or I don't mind meeting them in the quarters or the semis if we make it that far too. I would like to play them again because like I'm due a little redemption personally. I don't know if you're down for that.
I'm down.
Yeah,
let's make it there.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think I'll yeah, if I can get to the finals again, I'll do it. Yeah, let's go with that.
The next question is for ShahZam from V-Zone. Sentinels was one of the favorites to win Masters Berlin, but you guys were eliminated in the quarterfinals. This result put Sentinels inside a very large discussion. Do you see Sentinels going to this Champions with less firepower or more obligation to win?
No, I know there was a lot of commotion, but it's not like we haven't lost before. That's what made our team, is like how we handle losses. We've lost big games before, and like we were able to come back and like handle it pretty well. This time around, we kind of accepted that it was better off losing the first time in Berlin than now. So I feel like we're very prepared.
This next question is for Jamppi from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. How would you describe your style as an in-game leader?
Thank you. I don't know. I'm still kind of new to this role, but yeah, I feel like I can micromanage some things pretty well. I still get lots of help from like Scream and Soulcast, so I'm not like the only voice in the team. But yeah, I feel like I can micromanage like our people and what I want like my teammates to do. So I guess that's
recording in progress.
Okay. Yeah, got some good stuff always on the fly.
This next question is for Vanity from Esports Gazzetesi. Who do you think will challenge you the most in your group?
I don't know. I mean, I've never played against Vision Strikers. I know they had like a pretty disappointing run for what they were expected to do in Berlin. So I would say Vision Strikers.
How dare you?
But I mean, I think our groups, like I think all the groups are relatively strong throughout. Like I think the weakest one is probably Group C, but I think A, B, and D all have multiple teams that have a good chance to make like deep runs in the tournament.
This next question is for ShahZam from Pratiti at Sportskeeda. How has been the experience with the new coach? What does he bring to your team, in your opinion, as the in-game leader?
I just kind of talked about this, but like he's been really good at holding people accountable. I feel like it got to a point where it's what's it called? How do I say, like I don't want to say complacency, but we started to go through the same motions, and like within the region things kind of felt a bit easy. But now that like we had a long break, it's been like 3 months since we played, since Masters 3, so like an official, so it's hard to like get like good practice and make time productive, and I think Rockets has helped a lot with that.
Okay, this next question is for Boaster and Vanity from Pedro Romero at The Click. It has been 6 months since you guys have faced each other competitively. As IGL's ahead of the C9 versus Fnatic match, what do you make of the other person's progress since that V1 versus Fnatic affair in Reykjavik? Did you sense a significant improvement from each other?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say Vanity and I have now broken up over his previous comment. I'm not happy about that whatsoever. I was only going to say nice things about him this press conference as well. Let's see. No, I think Vanity has always been like considered a smart IGL in NA, and you can see what the impact he has on the teams that he joins, and the quick impact that he's had on Cloud9. However, we do have the benefit of being a team longer, if that is a benefit. So I'd say we have the advantage in terms of all that aspect, and whether he had enough time with that roster to really solidify it and compete with the likes of us.
I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest difference, like with Fnatic at least, it seems like they stopped switching roles on every map, which I think should help them, because I think Boaster plays Sova on most of the maps now, which is something a lot of European teams shied away from in the past. But I think they're starting to realize like how strong of an agent it is and how strong it is to have like a Sova player who's confident in his like his abilities. And I think that's probably like the biggest improvement that they've made and he's made as a team or a player so far.
Thanks, bro. I could see some good recon lineups in here as well, I reckon. Like, get some good ones.
This next question is for Boaster. What do you think of the Turkish Valorant scene with its ongoing scam problems right now? Do you think the teams can make a comeback for a future championship?
Honestly, I don't really know much about it, so I can't really comment on it. However, as for the competitive scene of the Turkish scenes, they've got some like big firepower. So I imagine they'll always bounce back. You know, they'll form the next roster. Oh my god, I was like rapping then. They'll form the next roster, and I'm sure they'll come guns blazing. Sorry.
This next question is for Vanity. For Mia Del Rocco as Shana. What continues after this for you as a player, win or lose? What strategy do you plan to follow in your future?
I don't know, like I kind of live in the moment, given like I don't know, my life's pretty cool. I get to travel the world playing video games, wake up, do like the thing that I love every day. So like win or lose, I'm still in this like the same spot. I mean, obviously, unless I have like 50 ACS, right? But I don't know. I'm just thankful to be here and hope we can put on a good run.
This next question is for Jamppi from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. Who helps out with calling most of outside of you? Is there a secondary caller for Liquid?
I don't think there's like a set secondary caller or anything. Like I said, it's mostly Scream and Soulcast, and then we have like set roles also for Link and Niver what they do, but I think Scream and Soulcast do the most of the stuff, and especially Scream, he's good with like mid-front calling.
This next question is for Vanity from Ashir Ahmed at The Spike. You're the only Cloud9 player to have played at a Valorant LAN event. Do you believe having experience will allow you and your teammates to better adjust to this current setting?
Zed has also played at a LAN in Korea, but apart from that, yeah, it is true. I don't know. I don't think the LAN thing really is super meaningful until there's actually crowds back. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really don't think that like there's a super big difference in like playing online versus playing on a stage just against the other team. I think it's a completely different game when like you have like thousands of people screaming at you, but like in the current circumstances, I'm not really sure. Like I have no worries like that it'll be a difference in our gameplay.
This next question is for Boaster from Ashir Ahmed at the Spike. You secured second place at Masters Reykjavik, but fell short of making challengers in stage 3. So how do you feel about your current form?
Individually or as a team? I say individually. After Iceland, I kind of strayed from this path of like a leader. I started wanting to be kind of like a high impact player and like wanting the frags. And I realized that that isn't my role. My role is to facilitate my boys and make them feel make them do that job. And that's kind of how I've been focusing since then, is just becoming the best leader I can be. As for the whole team together, we've had a difficult process since Iceland of really kind of ironing out the things that we were masking in Iceland. You know, we were a fresh team then, and like everyone was just hitting shots, and it was like we had the strats, but like there wasn't much depth to it. So I think since then to now, we've just been kind of adding that, and hopefully it works out, and we're going to be hitting our shots. We're going to be coming for you. Come to your bomb site. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Yeah.
It's okay. I have a leaf.
Oh, well, I got Dirk.
One singular leaf.
Yeah.
This next question is for Jamppi from Josh Wilkinson at Plat Chat. You are one of the most improved players in the world over the past 6 months. You now play 4 completely different roles for Liquid to a top tier level. What were the biggest factors of your improvement from Reykjavik until now?
Thanks, Josh, for every question. I think just myself, I think in CS also, it took me some time to get like comfortable. Basically, I always knew that I have the skill to compete against the best, but I think it was just that I still was kind of new to the game. And now when I got to basically experience more different agents just from the chat, because chat is kind of simple agent in a way, even though you need a high skill playing it. But when I used to play like more Omen, Sova, Killjoy also, I think I just got more comfortable on my things. And also I think it's also a big like mentality side. I think I kind of load my expectations of myself. I always wanted to be the best, and I still want to be the best, and I think I can become one of the best players in the world. But I think I was still too new to the game, and I had like the feeling that I need to top frag every game, and when I used to play chat. So I think I just switched the mentality and still like work the same, work hard, and just did my own stuff. And I think that's one of the things that have improved myself, and I feel much more confident right now that I did, let's say 6 months ago.
Our final pre-submitted question goes to Boaster, and this is from Muhammad Medina at GGWP. What is your vision of Valorant in 2022? How do you see the game growing and moving forward in the coming years?
What is my vision of Valorant in 2022? Well, hopefully Riot keeps working on their Hex Tech technology, so we can really improve the kind of stage and the atmosphere. My vision of 2022 Valorant, hopefully Fnatic at the top. That would be nice to start off with, and just more like, I don't know, really, like just like this, really. I quite like this. With crowd, that would be nice, but obviously there's like,
I think that'd be the biggest thing to change is like the crowds. I mean, maybe like one more I don't know, like maybe one more international event per year, because I think it's still only 2 next year.
You miss me that much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 would be nice, but I mean, I think crowds would be the biggest thing that people would like to see for sure.
COVID permitting, guys. COVID permitting.
Yeah, true.
All right, we will now take questions from journalists in the Zoom chat. If you could please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for questions, and I will call on you. We have Scott Robinson at Dot Esports.
Hi, everyone. So this question's for each of you, or whoever wants to answer. In games like CSGO and Valorant, there's a large amount of roster overhaul in the scenes, especially with teams that haven't achieved the level of success that you guys all have. does reaching this level of competition afford each of you a feeling of job security, or do you still feel like you're constantly competing to keep your spot secured?
I think all four of us are IGLs, so I think there's a lot more job security in being an IGL as long as you're like able to put up like relatively consistent results, versus being like a duelist player. Maybe it would be a lot more worrying as a player. But I think as an IGL, as long as like you're putting in the work, I think the job security should be there, at least in North America, because there's not very many of us.
Well, if it all ends badly for you, I'm off to NA then, aren't I?
Yeah, I think it's like correct what Vanity said. I think IGL is much more like harder to basically replace if you.
I think it changes a lot within a team to like switch IGLs.
It's like a completely new play style and everything. So
Yeah, I think our team is like one of the longest standing rosters. I think that like the culture we have is pretty much like people aren't playing for their jobs. I feel like that's kind of an unhealthy way to approach it. If people are just playing for their spots, because then they're not selfless when they need to be. So like hopefully nobody's ever felt like they're at risk for their spot on the team.
Kobe Zucker, upcomer.
Hi guys, this question's for ShahZam. Sentinels are one of the only teams to attend all 3 international events. How does the build up to Champions kind of compare to those previous events? Is there more hype leading into Champions, or was it maybe like Iceland as the first LAN event that kind of held the most hype for you?
I would say it's been a pretty similar feeling throughout all of them. I think the being in the same spot as Masters 3 is kind of like not made it feel as hyped as I feel like it should be coming into Champions. And obviously I'm biased because Iceland was a really good time for us. But I think that when we've gotten here after the quarantine and actually doing like, the recordings for the production and stuff, it's given us a lot more hype just to see what the broadcast is going to look like. But I'd say that we're pretty disappointed in like the prize pool and stuff.
Thank you.
Barash for One Tap Valorant.
Hey guys, Jamppi, my question is towards you. Following the positive test of your team at Nivera, it has become clear that you will play in separate rooms from him. Do you think that will play any mental impact on you and your teammates?
for sure, it's a little bit mess. I think everyone of us want to play in the stage, but that's how it goes sometimes to life. But yeah, I think so. It has a little effect, but safety is the first like the thing here, and hopefully we can be on the stage in the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Thank you.
The score.
So my question's for ShahZam. I spoke to you before you left for Champions, and you said that you were looking forward to playing some of the other regions, like other than Europe in particular. And I was wondering if you've had a chance to maybe scrim some of these other regions, and is there any team that has impressed you in particular?
Yeah, so like with the timings, like the structure, whatever, it was hard to get like good prac in NA with teams like everyone's in like rebuilding phase. So as soon as we got here, we started like booking out a lot of scrims and playing a lot. Just like Masters 3, I'd say like Vision Striker is just like really strong in prac. And it's not just like results, it's like when you play against them, like everything they do is really calculated. Trying to think who else. I'd say Vikings is pretty strong, and X10 too. They impressed me.
Mark from Absolute Legends.
Hi everyone, my question is for Jamppi. Your team Liquid have now an impressive win streak. You won 10 matches in a row. Will this fact give your team an extra confidence, or is it a common thing for you?
Yeah, it's super common to be unbeatable. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course, it's a huge build-up. I think the last chance qualifier we had, it was like a huge pressure for us. There was, I think, us and Cheeto and Gilbert are like the favorites going into that, and like just the pressure of qualifying, and that kind of fell off. And I think after the last chance qualified, the Red Bull thing, it was kind of the same thing. In the Red Bull time, we didn't have almost any pressure anymore because Champions was the thing. like it's the main goal for us. So yeah, it's just a huge confidence that we haven't lost a map since. Actually, we have lost the maps, but we haven't lost a series since Nivar joined. So of course, it's a huge confidence boost for like individually and as a team.
Thank you.
We have Tarek representing the North American Watch Party.
Hey guys, this is Tarek from NA Ranked Q. I just wanted to ask ShahZam, I have two questions for you. My first question is, who are your favorites for the event? And my second question is, do you heckin' love tens?
That just favorites, I'd say us, Gambit's a given, NV2, they're the guys that beat us last time, and Bad Chest, I heckin' love tens.
Well, we have something to say about that, us three, because we plan to be in the finals as well.
Briggsy from Esports GG.
Hi there. Nice to see you guys. This question is for all of you. I just wanted to know, beyond, obviously scrimming and anything like that, what are some things that you do outside of the game to get you pumped up for such a big event like this when there's an absence of a crowd?
I mean, I don't think I do anything in particular to like, it's just like, I don't know, just happy to be here playing the game that I love, right? Like, I don't really do anything special outside of that. It's just exciting to be here.
Yeah, I like to jump in my room and hype myself with some Roger Federer hype videos. And get some inspiration from the GOAT. So I think that's how I hype myself up into the games.
I'll probably go for a jog, listening to Riot's new song "Die for You."
Yes.
That's kind of hype. Other than that, no, nothing really. Just jogging.
Yeah, I think watching other games makes me really want to play. But people have their own stuff. Like I know Dapper, he'll watch like anime music videos before every game.
Valid. Thank you, guys.
Next question from My Game On.
Hi guys. This question is for ShahZam. So with tens being quite the star of Sentinels, are your strats built around tens, or is there a different way?
No. I wouldn't say any of our game plan is necessarily built around a certain player, but I think at the end of the day, obviously we do want to set it up to succeed. I think when it comes to like role wise and how we want to approach like positions and stuff, for sure. Like you have to factor in that, he is the strongest, like one of the strongest players in the world.
Out of game 2.
Working on that one.
Yeah.
Luis from Dexerto.
Hi, this question is for Vanity. A lot of people, from players to analysts, have had some really good things to say about your team. Do you see yourselves as one of the favorites? And do you think that all this praise from players and analysts puts a lot of pressure on the team's shoulders?
I don't know. I think my team's too dumb to really like think any of these analysts like take anything they say seriously. Like we're all pretty stupid. I mean, we're just gonna go out there and play video games. Maybe hopefully we can shoot some heads better than the other team. But yeah, I don't really think like we're gonna hopefully not deal with the nerves too much. I don't think there'll be very many issues.
Thank you.
Ignacio from Alert to Geek.
Hey guys, first of all, thanks to Riot to give me the opportunity to be in here. My questions are for ShahZam, Jamppi. As a Latin American person, it's important to me to know, what do you think about crew esports?
I can start. I actually think they have a huge potential. We played a lot of practice against them in Iceland. Of course, not now because we're in the same group. And I think in Iceland they surprised us, especially in practice. But when we faced them in the official match, I think they didn't play actually that good. At least if you compare to the pracs. And I think it was just like, I'm not sure how much experience the players have, but now when they have been a few LANs, I think it's gonna be like completely different circumstances for them. So I think it's gonna be they're much more better team than they were at least 6 months ago.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as them. When we practiced versus them in the other tournaments, I'd say they're a pretty strong team during practices. And I think they're one of the other teams that have also been to all the lanes so far.
Yeah.
So I think that hopefully plays a good role for them coming into Champions.
Thank you, guys.
Kobe Zucker from Upcomer.
Hi, this question's for Boaster. I was wondering if you could give us any sneak peeks about your entrances/celebrations during the games. And as a follow-up, are you worried you're going to get outperformed by Paddy Pan in the rematch from Iceland?
I'm not too worried about that. As for the celebrations, I'll have to keep them on the hush hush. But for an entry, I do have a plan. It's just whether Vanity will agree with it after we talk after this. We'll
Thank
have
you.
to find out.
Run it back, GG.
Hi guys, my name. This question is for Boaster. So Magnum spoke pretty highly about the addition of Anders as strategic coach. What can you tell us about his addition? Any major groundbreaking changes due to his addition to Fnatic?
So with us adding Anders as an extra mind to the strategy, it's I'd say it's very impactful. I guess it's like adding a different perspective, like Vanity said, with our kind of roles. When I was in charge, I was just doing whatever I wanted with the roles. So I was like, we're doing this comp. Look at it. 3 smokers on bind. Let's go, baby. But I think with Anders, we're generally running a more kind of like statistical and analytical kind of setup now, really focusing on that. And yeah, and then when it comes to kind of like the in-game stuff that isn't to do with comps, it's more to do with like how we set about the map and how we kind of play the map and mid-round situations and whatnot. So I think just having an extra mind to kind of either contest me or kind of challenge me, and then like when 2 people kind of clash and it keeps like building up and whatnot, where I guess it's that kind of atmosphere vibe going on where we're it's very beneficial is essentially what I'm saying. Yes.
Thank you.
Elizabeth from The Score.
Hi, I just want to thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to speak with us, number one. And number two, my question is for ShahZam. You said in an interview a while back that when you didn't have a coach, being the IGL, you took on a lot of parts of that role. Now that you have a coach and being fully able to step into the IGL role, how do you think that has impacted your team, your plays, and just your, obviously not without giving anything away, but just your, how has it impacted the Sentinels?
It's made it a lot easier for me, for sure. Being able to like have someone there that can like record the practice and take notes on key rounds, and if I ask them like, hey, like take note of this, and then we can just discuss it afterwards. Also, more so on us like defining our roles. I feel like we had a bit of like overlap on roles on certain maps, and so Ruckus has been like a really good contribution in like making people be in more defined roles and just get better at them. And outside of that, like with the prep work, I feel like it'll still be more of a combined effort. It's not like I'm just going to allocate the responsibility all to him. I feel like it'll just be both of us doing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ShahZam.
Thank you.
And final question for TT from Sportskita.
Yeah, hi. My question will be to Vanity. So, when most of the teams in Champions have past LAN experience, this is the first international LAN for Cloud9. Do you feel this can put the team on any disadvantage? Also, do you believe Cloud9 can be a dark horse in this tournament?
I don't know. Given like the whole situation me, Leaf, and Zeppa went through last year, I don't really think that like a LAN with no crowd will have too much of an impact on like our mentals.
Okay, thank you, everyone. This concludes the first press conference. We will continue on with the second press conference soon. But first, players, please stand up and we will take your picture.